morning. This is Chris from Freeport, Florida in the Florida Panhandle. And this morning what we're going to do is we're going to make a homemade vegan banana bread. I like to do this on Sundays so that we have something healthy to eat all week long. So the first thing that I'm going to do is I like to use 4 bananas because I like my banana bread really banana-y. And the best thing about this recipe, I think, is that you can make it all in one bowl. So I'm just going to peel the bananas here, stick them in there. And then once I get the bananas in here, I'm going to mash them with a fork. I like to use bananas that are fairly ripe, so you see that these have just some spots on them. That makes them a lot sweeter. Okay. So once I have the bananas in the bowl, then I'm going to mash them up. One of the things that you're going to want to do before you even get started is, as an egg replacement, we're using a flax egg. So in order to make that, what you'll do is that you're going to use this, something like this, a ground flax, and you're going to put several teaspoons of it in a little jar like this and add some water, and you need to let that sit for 5 or 10 minutes, and then you'll see it's going to get kind of a gooey texture, which is going to be your egg replacement. Okay, so I've got the bananas pretty mashed up here, see? So then the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add 1/3 cup of unsweetened applesauce. And I use this in the place of oil. I don't use oil in the banana bread. I use unsweetened applesauce. Stir that up a little bit. And then I'm gonna start with 1/2 cup of almond milk. This is an unsweetened vanilla almond milk. Pour that in. So basically I'm gonna have all of my wet ingredients in the bowl, mix that up before I put in any dry ingredients. So mix that up. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add a little bit of vanilla extract, just a touch to give it some flavor. And then I'm gonna use 1/3 cup of organic cane sugar. So add that in. And I'm gonna check my flax egg right here. So when you stir it up, you're gonna see that it's getting kind of a gooey texture to it. So I'm gonna go ahead and add that in. Okay, so that's all my wet ingredients. So now I'm gonna start adding the dry ingredients. So I've used a couple of different flours in this, and what I really like is this is an organic spelt flour. So I'm gonna use 1 cup of that. If you don't have spelt flour, it's kind of hard to find. I got this at Whole Foods. But if you don't have spelt flour, you can use unbleached white flour. One of the things that I wouldn't do is I wouldn't do the whole banana bread with whole wheat flour, because what I found is that it's just too heavy and it won't rise. Now, so what I'm doing is I'm doing 1 cup of the spelt flour, and I'm doing 1 cup of whole wheat pastry flour. So 1 cup of the pastry flour. So I'm just putting in the dry ingredients right on top of the wet ingredients, not stirring them yet. Because then in this little jar I've got 1 teaspoon of baking powder, baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So I'm gonna add that in right on the top of the flour. And then I'm just going to kind of stir that into the flour, like that. And then I'm gonna mix everything in together. So I will cook this at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 1 hour. This makes one loaf. Of course, you could double the recipe, and you can freeze this banana bread, have it for later. It's really delicious. Okay, so there is the banana bread mix there. Okay, so then I'm just gonna take one loaf pan. I'm just gonna spray the bottom of that with a little bit of olive oil. And then I'll put all of this into the loaf pan. And then I'll put it in the oven. See you in a minute. Okay, the banana bread is done. I stopped it just before an hour because it looked like it was just getting so brown. So now I'm gonna slice it. You can see that it's very moist and delicious. So I'm gonna put it on the plate here. I like to eat it when it's warm. That's when it's the yummiest. Okay, good luck.
Hey, this is my beautiful wife. She's gonna cook for you.